All right. Welcome, everybody. We are live again. All right. All right. Just let some people join here and we'll get started straight away. We're going to be talking about the new SpaceX 0.055 patch. And restart the game here. Wow, that's fine. We don't need music. So how have you guys been doing? So let's get started. So yes, are talking about the SpaceX patch 5.055. Just came out a little over a day ago now, and so we're going to be talking about all the changes, additions, and go over all of that with you. Kind of outline some of the cool features and some things that you guys might not like so much. So yeah, we'll jump right into it. Hello, a cryptomaniac. Thanks for coming by. So the first thing I want to start out. There's not too much has changed in in the space station from the last patch, except the biggest change, and possibly the one that you guys may not like, but it kind of fixed as a intended, how people were using it as unintended. So they did a little change to the marketplace. Might as well jump right into that. Basically, um, the marketplace still works the same as it did before when you're selling materials, right? You still go to your cargo and your station, and you can select how much you want to sell. Click sell. It'll give you the amount of plats, and before the change, it immediately put it on the market. So this allowed people to do some trading back and forth. People would list it, and immediately the other person would snap it up. And so they were doing some trading that way. That was never really intended, so they have made a change to that. So now when you list your resources on the market, you still get paid the plats immediately. However, the materials don't show up on the market for somewhere between 3 to 24 hours. I don't know exactly how they have the time or randomness set, but they will not show up immediately on the market. So when you post something, it takes a little time and then they'll show up. So it kind of kills the trading that was going on among some of the players um, set up, initially and how they were doing it. But that was never really an intended feature in the home system. There will be the player-to-player marketplace in the coming sectors. I believe they're talking about it in sector 2 or 3. So you'll be able to set the prices for your resources and all of that, and people will be able to outbid it and all of that in the coming sectors. But in the home system, in the home sector, it was never intended to be a trading type scenario. So they made that adjustment to kind of fix that hole. So yeah, that's kind of the main thing about the market that has changed. Everything else in here is pretty much the same still. You have your research tuning, and eventually these will come into effect in the next week or two. But let's go undock here, fly out. So another thing that has changed, there are now 3 asteroid belts, and all 3 of them are functional. All right. So unlike before when you had asteroid belt just 1, we now have 3 different belts to choose from, and you can warp to all of them. You'll end up obviously here in the asteroid belt. Scanning still works the same. You fly, and we'll fly out a little bit here, slow down, and then do a scan. All right, so changes about the belt to note. So obviously there's 3 of them now. In addition to the being 3, there are also going to be moving locations. About every 5 to 7 days, the actual locations of the asteroids that have materials in them, like this one here, that will actually shift location to a different spot in the belt. So unlike before, where since now there's been 1 belt and all the maps were static in position, they never changed. So you would always go to the same spot and always find the rock with the resources. Obviously the resources would change, but the location of that asteroid did not. So now not only will the asteroid's resources change, but every 5 to 7 days the locations of the asteroids that are containing the resources will alternate as well. So there's still, I believe, 9 asteroids in every belt that have resources, but they will change locations, and you'll be able to hunt a little more. It takes some of the it'll take longer to find the resources, but it adds a much better feel to the game, where you don't just go straight, turn right, and you're at the rock, and it's always there, always at the same time. So now you have to do a little hunting to find those resources, and it will add a little dynamic to the game that is always intended to be there. They just now have actually put it into the game. So yeah, so that's another big change, obviously. Pretty cool. I'm excited. I believe asteroid belt 1 is still the same positions as it originally was, but that will switch up in the next few days here, so we'll see. And the belts have been moved a little bit, the distances from things. Well, I should say asteroid belt 1. 2 and 3, no one ever really used, and they weren't, you know, the distances weren't really a big factor. But now they did change the distance and location of asteroid belt 1. If you warp there, obviously it doesn't matter so much, but that is something to note. So, and then the next thing we'll talk about here is the warp fees. So they talked a lot about making warp fees in this, or adding them into this patch. However, they foregone that and are collecting more data to try to really dial in the best price and how they're going to make it all work. So eventually, obviously, it says, as it says right here, warp to the planet, you need to pay 200 plats. Do you want to confirm? So this will not be 200. So that's what they're kind of trying to gauge right now, is what is that perfect number where you're going to have some plat burn, but it won't be too much where people aren't going to ever want to warp. Because we do want, you do want the plats to be burned, because that's what's going to create value. If there's just unlimited amount of plats being created forever, all the plat value is going to go to zero, right? And we don't want that. We want the plat value, especially when it starts going on the exchange, to have good value and rise. So you can't have infinite amount of plats being created all the time. So you need sinks for these plats to go into, and this warp is going to be a good sink for those plats and to keep the value up of them. All right, so now we've showed the belts, obviously. Let's go Epos. That's where I've decided to create my main base, or I shouldn't say my main base, my complete base is where I'm working on building and constructing all of the buildings. As you can see, I've got the power plant, I've got the factory, the refinery, the mining platform, all built up here. And I just got my research center left and the interstellar launch pad. So I'm getting really close to this research center. I got everything but my titanium, which I should have a couple more days. I'm looking forward to building that. And this interstellar launch pad, this is going to be adjusted, and the rates of different rares, materials, and all that will be adjusted. They haven't gotten to the interstellar launch pad yet, but they have changed some of the resources for the refinery and for the research center. So those changes, we talk about those now. Let me see here. Where is that? So for the research center, they lowered the thorium or I'm sorry, for the research center, they lowered the radium to 800, the thorium to 400, and the tantalum, I think, believe it was 4,000 before, and now it's 2,600. So they've lowered all of those just based on the numbers they were showing that people had mined and kind of the time they wanted the buildings to take and get everyone to collect those materials. So they reduced those, and then they've also reduced the neon in the refinery. And so the top players and the people that have been grinding a lot could get the amount of neon needed for the refinery in about 2 weeks, which, is perfectly fine. But the players that play less frequently and aren't grinding every day, it was taking a little too long. So they did reduce that neon down. Originally it was 5,000, and now they have changed that to, what was it, 2,600. So pretty significant reduction, almost half. And that will help a lot of the players that aren't necessarily grinding every day 24/7. It'll help them achieve that building, since the refinery is needed or will be needed to create the fuel to fuel your mining platform and your ship eventually. So that's a nice reductions in materials, and those are the two buildings that have been changed in this patch. Like I said, the interstellar platform or launch pad, I'm sorry, is going to change, um, and the thorium especially will be significantly reduced. So I believe that will be coming in the next patch, in the changes to that. Let's see, what else do I got for you guys? All right. Another thing, the factory and research center buildings actually are displayed now. There was a bug in the previous one, the previous patch, where those two buildings wouldn't actually show on your plot. They wouldn't show being constructed, like the wireframe thing you see when you're building. They weren't being displayed. So now that bug has been corrected, and you will now see those buildings being constructed and when they're completed. So that's a good fix there. And another very nice thing they've added, obviously, so they've changed the display a little bit, they've widened it, whatever. But they've also, the big thing that everyone was wanting, they added the text field here to the plots, so you can now go to your plot and take out however much you want. I believe they fixed the bug where you couldn't get 1,000. So now you can get 1,000 straight away, instead of having it bug out to 1. So that's also a really a welcome fix. And so crypto, the plots can be purchased with Ethereum. So that's on the Ethereum network. They're still working out what chain everything else is going to be on. They want to keep it cheap, and gas fees low. So they're looking at different chains right now. It's not 100% solidified. I believe they've been looking heavily at the Phantasm chain and network. So whether Platts will be an ERC20 or on some type of other token, I'm not positive yet. I don't think it's been 100% confirmed, but I do know they're working on it. And at the launch of Alpha, which, always subject to change, but I believe it's going to be in the next month and a half, they are looking to have that ready. The chain obviously will be announced and have the Platts token on exchanges as well at the beginning of or at least very shortly after the alpha launch of the game. But if you would like to purchase the plots, which there are a lot of benefits to purchasing plots, that is done through the Ethereum network with the MetaMask and all that. If you want to see how to do that, I've highlighted in my last video. I believe it's the SpaceEx 0.02 patch. Go through how to do all that. And so if you're looking at buying or want to know the benefits of buying plots versus just leasing one, you can go back and watch that video. Let's see. Okay, so there's another, and the session ends. So when, instead of just timing out and looking like you're still in the game, it's going to give you a go back to login screen, which is nice because I know many times in the previous patches it would time out. I didn't realize it. I'd fly back, I'd warp back, and then I get to the station, try to dump stuff, and says your session has expired. So now you shouldn't see that. When the session expires, it'll pop up a window saying you need to relog in, which is a nice addition. So yeah, and then like I said, the menu input is really nice. Let's take off and go look. Let's see. Oh, so my main base has just completed here on this plot, which increased my cargo space, which is great. If you guys don't have that main base, it increases your cargo capacity to 2.5 million, which is huge, huge increase, obviously, over the 80,000 that comes standard in the plots. Really great building to get, add that extra space, especially if you have a mining platform built on your plot, or you have a purchase plot and have the auto miner going. Thanks. Yeah, the devs have been working really hard on the game, been making lots of changes. Obviously, it's still in pre-alpha. Um, you can still register for the pre-alpha, completely free to play right now still, and it will always be free to play. But you start now, sooner you get the jump on everyone else. I believe the alpha stage is going to be launching, like I said, in a month and a half or so, and at that time, that's when they're going to start putting the plats on exchanges and all of that. But if you want to check it out, the website right now, it's still under construction, but you can download from the website. It is SpaceX.io, and we also have a Discord. Jump in the Discord. We also have download links in there, and really great game. It's more of a kind of an AFK miner, so you don't have to do, there's not a lot of active play, at least in this stage of the game. Basically what you're doing, you're trying to mine all these different resources to build your base. And so you want to build the complete base. Like I said, I have 2 more buildings left. And at that point, I'll be able to build the interstellar ship, which allows you then to travel to Sector 1 and kind of get into the core of the game, which is going to be discovering planets. So you're going to be flying through Sector 1 and trying to discover planets. And when you discover a planet, if you find one that no one's found before, right, you can then claim it. And when you claim the planet, these will be all be NFTs and player ownable. So you could claim the planet. When you do, there will be a small fee. I believe they're going around 40 USD. It'll be in some crypto. Like I said, that is still being worked out among the devs, what that's going to be. But they want to keep it low price and have extremely low gas fees. So they're looking, I'm not sure if they've looked at Cardano or, like I said, I know they were heavily favoring the Phantasm network, but I'm not sure if that has been solidified yet. So yeah, looking forward to seeing all that. But like I said, Sector 1 is going to be where the main kind of gameplay starts happening. You are going to build another base in Sector 1. Once you find a planet and discover it, claim it, basically then you'll have the rarity roll on the planet after you claim it. And there's 5 different levels of rarity, common all the way up to spectacular, and the amounts of resources they have on them, the types of plots and the amount of plots, which are also NFTs and rentable, sellable, all that type of stuff. And so that's where your main earning, or at least a large portion of the potentially play to earn aspect comes in, as the devs are anticipating a lot of these planets. Even the commons may be worth couple $100, and the spectaculars, which are a 0.5% rarity of all the planets, they're estimating to be worth a couple $1,000, maybe more. Obviously, those numbers are all speculation, and they aren't setting those values. The market obviously will set those values, as all NFTs are, but that's kind of where they're envisioning the main bulk of your play to earn potential is. Obviously, the plats you earn plats for mining and all that, so that will add to it as well. But they're really seeing those NFTs as the big prize. So yeah, like I said, this is the main. I have 2 buildings left, and they are just starting to implement missions into the game. You can see this queue here. There's currently none are active. They're working through the first mission and getting them going and tweaked perfectly. I believe that it'll be added into the game in the next day or 2 here. But eventually you will be able to go to this quest button queue here and it'll pop up a little window. I can show you. This isn't active yet, but this is where it kind of looked like, next, next, and follow the things and tell you what to do, and potentially give you bonuses, benefits, depending on what the quest is. So that's kind of where the game is going, and some of the changes that have been implemented in this. Let me see. Let me look through here if I missed anything. All right, yeah. So we'll outline what the buildings will do. This hasn't been implemented in this patch yet, but they've kind of added more clarity on what each building will do. So the factory is where you're going to be able to create boosters. I believe in the initial release, there's going to be 3 different boosters you can do. 2 of them are for the shuttle, the upgrades. It'll increase the speed of the shuttle 10% is one of them. Increase the cargo size 10%, which is another, which is pretty nice. And then the other booster capacity is going to be cargo capacity of the main base. I don't know how much that's going to increase the capacity on that, but that's going to be a really nice upgrade as well. And those will be purchasable or creatable in the factory, and obviously will cost resources and maybe some flats initially. So that's kind of what the factory is for. Now the research center building is going to be where the alloys and compounds are created in the research center. And those alloys and compounds are going to be needed to build the interstellar ship and the cargo carrier ship if you decide you want to build the cargo carrier. They've said the interstellar ship won't be extremely expensive, which will be nice. You will still need, I believe, one of the compounds in the research center. So you do need the research center to be able to build the ship, obviously. But the cargo carrier is going to be very expensive. You're going to need all 4 of the alloys or compounds used created in the research center to build that ship. So that cargo carrier is going to be expensive, and that's kind of their plans for it. Hello, thank you for that follow. All right, and so the launch pad. Let's talk about that. So the recipe, as I said, is going to be changed. It was much, much too difficult, especially on the thorium. They had 15,000 thorium, which if you've been playing, would take a very long time, maybe over a year to get all of that. So that's going to be significantly reduced, and that will be coming in a future patch here pretty quickly. I believe the next one, if not that, the one after. But that launch pad is going to be significantly reduced, and the ship as well is going to have a thanks for those follows, guys. The ship is going to be significantly reduced for cost as well, so it won't be as crazy as it looks right here. Well, I've got a lot of these, but this thorium, this is the most exotic and hard to get resource. And right now it's saying 15,000. Like I said, this will be adjusted, so don't worry about that. Don't get too freaked out by that number, because those will be changing. Right. Let me see. What else haven't I covered? Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's kind of the majority of the changes I think I've covered for this patch. It's SpaceX 0.055. I will open it up to you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Just post them in the chat. And I'll try to answer those for you. But while I wait for those, all right. So this is one of the planets. It's got some crazy bright lights. This is Epos, where I've decided to make my home command. And then I've purchased 3 plots. I got Epos data in Uni, and then I have a leased plot on Akoli. So let me show you what a less developed plot looks like. Actually, let's go to Akoli. I just have the mining platform here and the power plant. And then if you go to the buildings, obviously you can see the mini miner is an optional building. You can build that or the mining platform. I've opted for the mining platforms as the platforms mine faster, but this is also an option. And then you have your main base, which increases the cargo capacity of the plot from 80,000 to 2.5 million. So definitely necessary building. Again, your refinery, where you'll be creating your fuels. The research center, which we talked about, is where you'll be creating the alloys to build the ships. The factory is where you're going to be creating those modules that allow you to make your ship faster, a little bigger cargo supplies, and then more will be coming eventually as well. But initially they're going to be adding those 3. And then you have your interstellar launch pad. No, this is okay. Crypto asked, "Is this a pay to play game?" No, completely free to play and play to earn. So at this stage, like I said, they don't have the plats on exchange yet. However, that will be coming, and obviously this is just the pre-alpha of the game, so the play to the earn aspect isn't quite implemented yet, but it will be play to earn. But no, completely free to play. Obviously, if you want to buy the plots, you can purchase plots. There's currently and only will ever be 3,500 available in the universe in the home system, and those are for sale right now. There's a discounted pre-alpha rate. If you want to purchase one of those, that's the only thing right now that you can pay for and buy, and those will be NFTs once they figure out what chain they're going to be using and all that. So those are player ownable, tradable, sellable. But no, you don't have to buy a plot. It does significantly increase your rates of being able to build the buildings and get into Sector 1. But it does not have to. You obviously you do not have to purchase one to play, and obviously they're not intending on everyone purchasing one or more, because there are only 3,500 ever going to be available, and obviously they're planning on a lot more people playing this game than just 3,500. All right, next one, Farius Reborn. Not sure if answered already, but are we going to get back to the 150 TH from the quest that cannot be continued? Or are we going to continue where it's left off? Yep, so there, like I said, the quest, there was a little bug, a hiccup with it. The 150 thorium will be returned to you. Basically how it's going to go, it's the same kind of quest line at the beginning, but the thorium won't be taken away from your cargo. So you'll still have that in your inventory, and they won't take it from you. The quest, as far as I understand, is going to continue from there, but they did take it down for now. But they are going to be adding it back in the next few days, I believe. So yes, you will get that 150 back. If you don't, you can DM me, and I will see to it that you do get that back. Right. Do we have any other burning questions for me today, guys? Let me see. So I'll just show you if you are interested in purchasing a plot. Um, I would suggest do your research to see. So all these planets here, most of them you can purchase plots on. So you just pick one. Let's say you want to buy one here, and you would just scan here, and it will show you all of the plots. And this is where whether you're going to buy or lease, this is how you select that. So this is where you would go. It shows all the plot IDs and how many currently for sale. This one happens to be tied to the value $950 for these plots on, which planet is this? Ogma, I believe. So that's what the price is set. It is in Ethereum, so your Ethereum, when you click purchase, it will, or when you click buy, it will pop up, and the Ethereum amount will be, calculated to be 950 at the time of purchase. And then so that's where you go to buy if you want to purchase. Like I said, do your research on which plots you want to buy. If you are looking at buying one or multiple, look at the resources they have. All the planets have different resources, and some you need more of than others when you're constructing your base. So take a good look at those. If you're going to buy more than one, try to have it so you don't have too many resources overlapping, so you get a good range of the 33 resources, because you do need almost all of them to construct your base completely. If you don't want to purchase, like I said, you don't need to, and you can go here, you find one. If you want to rent on this plot, you find one that says rent 1,200 plats for 6 months, and these are kind of the SpaceX controlled plots or own, and these will only be rentable. You basically rent it. When you start the game, you get 2,000 plats to start. You can rent a plot for 1,200 for 6 months, and you have 6 months time to build up your whole main base and your ship and launch to Sector 1. So, like I said, completely free to play. You can do it with this rented plot, and you don't have to purchase a plot. But also, as I said, if you do want to invest in the game in these NFTs, it is planned like, most land sales in crypto games. It is thought that these will be worth a lot more than they are currently selling for once the game launches. Obviously, can't promise anything as any crypto investment, but most land sales, like I said, usually do pretty well for those that do decide to purchase the NFTs. So that's kind of a look at those. And you can look back at some of my previous patch videos. I believe in the last one I did, or the most recent one, there I outline how to actually go through and purchase it, and kind of what to think about when you are looking at that. And I do suggest you join the SpaceX Discord, and I can give you a link for that. There's a lot of good info on there. There's a how-to guide one of the players has made. So if you're interested in playing and haven't really dove into it yet, it's a good resource. Let me get that for you. So here's our Discord link. Jump in there if you haven't. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not it. That is the wrong one. Never mind that. Let me get the correct one for you. All right. There's the correct Discord link. So jump into our Discord channel, and like I said, there's lots of players in there already playing, grinding, and they have lots of good information. There's a whole tutorial, 15-minute guide, how to get started, what to think about, and everything you possibly need to know to start playing the game. And yeah, is there any other questions? And Farius, if you send me a message and we'll get the all those resources back. Thorium especially, and you shouldn't have to worry about any of that. I'm gonna jump to my main center. Check it out. I'm getting really excited to build this research center. Oh, crypto. Any plans to bring the game to other platforms? Currently, it is exclusively PC with the pre-alpha, but the mobile game, for the mobile app, is in development right now, and it will be on the Mac, Apple as well. So you will be able to play it from your phone, from your, from your iPad, whatever. Eventually, those are coming. I believe those are planned to be released around the alpha stage as well, sometime in there. Currently, like I said, only PC, but that's just for this pre-alpha phase. And you will be able to go, back and forth between the platforms. If you have, one account will be the same everywhere. So if you're playing on your PC, you can jump onto your phone, play it from there, wherever you are. The accounts will be the same throughout those platforms. So, like I said, right now in this home sector, it's kind of more of a passive style game where let's warp to asteroid belt here, and we'll find an asteroid to mine. Just fly out here. I believe there's one right up here. If we keep going a little ways. Let's do a scan. So there's one right there. You can see all the resources it has in it. So let's fly over to that one and start mining that. And slow down, start mining. So basically you do that. You fly around the asteroid field, scan for rocks. Like I said, there's 9 in each field right now. And the locations will change. Oh, there's not enough space. Oh, that's right. I loaded cargo up. All right, we'll dump this in space because I don't really care about cobalt right now. So we'll start mining. And Yeah, so you basically start this mining. Once you find an asteroid you want with the resources you want, this obviously this has barium, magnesium, platinum, aluminum, and radon. And if you don't know your periodic table of elements, you will learn it quickly with this game, because these are all the abbreviations for the periodic table elements, and you will see a lot of them. So, if you want to learn your chemistry, this is a good way to start. um, but then you can see your cargo will fill up, and at this point, you can pretty much just leave the game, set it aside, play another game, go work out, go eat, do whatever you do, and it will mine, and eventually it'll fill up. As you can see, there's 1,000 meters cubed of cargo space, and once you fill up, you can go drop it back on your plot and fly back out and collect more. There are also 5 free to mine planets on, which you can mine. I usually mine among the asteroids because you can find there's rare resources that you won't find on the planets. So I like to go to the asteroid field and mine there. Um, the other nice thing is once you build your mining platform, like I built a mining platform on here, you can start mining and stop mining. And this, you don't have to do anything. This is a passive miner. So you can close the game completely once you start mining here and you have the mining platform built on there. That gives you kind of the auto mining feature where you can passively mine, and that will just generate every 24 hours. You have to restart it. Um, so on lease plots, you have to build the mining platform for that feature. If you purchase a plot, I think this is one of the best reasons to purchase a plot. I mean, aside from it being an NFT and potentially increasing in value and all that, it comes with a built-in auto miner, so you don't have to build any buildings on it, and it comes with that mining auto miner feature already enabled. So you can start mining the resources. Whatever plot you purchase, you can start mining those resources straight away. And as you can see, I'll just do this on every one of my plots. Stop mining. It fills up more. You can see the amount increase. Give it 5 seconds and then start it again. If you let it go for 24 hours, over 24 hours, it'll say, plot mine for 24 hours, and that's the max it will let you. So once you kind of have to, that makes you log in every day. Even if you set it to start mining, once it mines for 24 hours, it'll stop at that point. So you have to log back in and stop and start it over, and then it'll go for another 24 hours of mining. Let that go. So if you want to just do it that way, you can generate a lot of resources. You don't even have to have the game open. But those, I pretty much always have mining at this point. And then you go and fly to the asteroid belts and collect the rarer resources from the asteroids that you need to finish your bases and buildings. Yes, this is a good casual game, especially at this point. It's kind of more passive at this point, where you can, get it set up, get it start mining, find an asteroid, and set it aside. Go do whatever you want to do. But it also has a lot of complex thinking, and you need to figure out what resources and what planets you need to be mining on, and the best and fastest ways to do it. If you look on the Discord, you can see a lot of people have already made crazy spreadsheets with the best ways to do things and the fastest places to get the resources you need for all the buildings. So it is pretty casual, but it also has a good kind of strategy behind it, where you're still thinking and still engaged, but you don't have to be constantly playing all the time, which I really enjoy. It's a nice kind of balance. All right, I think been going for almost an hour here. I think I'm going to start wrapping it up. Are there any last questions for me before we cut the stream? I'm gonna try to find a different asteroid here though, because I want to try to find some tungsten. And tungsten is W element, and so we're gonna look for W or TH. Thorium is the most exotic resource in the game, so that's always nice to find as well. And if we can find an asteroid with both of those, that would be the best. Let's see. Let's keep going. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Cryptomaniac. Um, I hope to see you in the Discord and jump into the game and check it out. I think you'll like it, especially if you're looking for that casual kind of spaced explorer game. It's a really great, and there's huge things to come for this game. Like I said, this is just pre-alpha. It's already a lot of fun, but the plans that the devs have for the game are pretty amazing, and I've been talking to them. They've already have it planned out 8 to 10 years, where if everything goes according to plan, they have that much content planned out. So obviously very, very early in the game, but hopefully if everything goes right, this game will be going on for a long time and make people a lot of money. Right? Because that's what everyone wants for the crypto games, to earn as much money in crypto as you can. So I have a lot of confidence in this dev team, and they have a lot of experience from past crypto games, not necessarily creating, but also playing. I know a lot of them have played some of the crypto games, seen some of their downfalls, and so they're taking all of that into account when they're coding this game, looking at the market and how to control the market to keep it profitable for people, and also obviously the exchanges and the best way to do that. So like I said, I have a lot of confidence in this dev team. Really loving the game so far, and I'm looking forward to the future of it. So thanks for stopping by. Um, Try to find this resource. Take one last question if anyone has it. Otherwise, I'm just going to find an asteroid to mine and we'll finish it off there. Oh, there's some tungsten. And let's go there. That W. Perfect. Perfect spot to end the stream. Oh, we'll go through it. Let's turn around and start mining. Perfect. All right. Well, thanks for stopping, thanks for stopping by, guys. Like I said, this is the patch update for SpaceX version 0.055, and thanks for coming by and hanging out. And I hope to see you guys in the stars.